dear students. In the previous classes we learned about different parts of the skeleton system, and also we learned about different types of joints and how do they work. Now today we are going to learn how people are able to walk or move. Now see here is a person walking. Now how does he walk? You just look at the picture. He lifts one limb and one limb is pushed backward, and with that backward limb, with the help of the backward limb, the body is given a thrust or a push to move forward. Okay. Now who is helping this body to push or pull? You have already learned that the skeleton system, the bones are very strong and rigid. They cannot be bent, okay. But without bones we cannot walk. But only with bones are you able to walk? No, we cannot walk only with the help of bones. For moving the bone, one bone if you want to move, we need two muscles. From one side it should be pulled and the other side it should be pushed. Now what are muscles? Do you know what are muscles? Muscles are some fibrous tissues or soft part of our body, and which has the ability to expand and contract. Whenever the brain will tell the muscle to expand, it will expand. When the brain will give instruction to contract, it will contract. And these muscles are attached to the bones. See, when you touch your body parts, you can see that your vertebral column is there or your rib cage is there, but on top of it you see the muscles are there, so you won't be even on the hands and legs muscles, legs bones, when you touch you don't feel the, those who are very thin they will feel because their muscles are not strong enough to, it is not thick muscles which cover the body. Those who are little fat, you can feel that the muscles are there which cover your skeleton, okay, or your bones are covered. Now these bones are attached to the muscles with the help of a very strong fiber, string like part, which is called the tendons. So what are tendons? They are the strong fibers which attach the bones to our muscles, okay. Now when the muscles attach to the bones, when they contract, what it will do, you know, it will pull the bone to the bone, okay. So what happens when you pull something, it start moving. So same way when it is pulled, the muscles will start, when the muscles will pull the bone, what will happen? The bones will start moving. Now one muscle cannot do many activities, it will either pull or push. So okay, it can pull the bones and another muscle will be there which will help to push it. So two muscles at a time, one will pull in and the other will push. Both the forces will be in the opposite direction, then only the muscles, the bone will be able to move. That means two muscles, that is a pair of muscles, work together to move a bone. So if you want to move a bone, you need at least two muscles to move. To pull it, one muscle will help you and the other muscle will help you to push it. Now if you want to see that, you can see the, you just try to lift your hands. So when you lift your hands, the front part, the biceps which you say, one side, in front side it will be, when you touch it you will feel, okay. When you lift it, the biceps, it will contract, and at the other side, the back side, it will expand, okay. So you can keep your hands there and try to check what is happening there, okay. This will help you to understand the movement of bones. The movement of body parts, um, actually, what is the movement of body parts called? It is called locomotion, right? Locomotion in human beings. Like us, when we move, what happens? How is it possible? Alternatively, one muscle will push, the other muscle will pull, again the muscle will pull and push. This alternate actions takes place, then only the movement of that particular body parts will be possible. Now see here, this is our hand muscles. This part is our lower arm, that is the lower bone. This is the elbow and this is your upper arm. Now here you have the triceps and here you have the biceps. Okay. So this way we are folding the hands. Now when you stretch your hand up, what happens is this part, that is the biceps, that is the front portion, it will contract, and the triceps at the back, it will get stretched up. Okay. Now also you can see here is the bone, which type of joint is there? In the elbow you have hinge joints, and you see here the tendon, that is this muscle is joined to this bone with the help of a strong string called the tendon here. Here also you can see the tendon. Tendons are strong fibers which join the muscles to the bones. Okay. So here when you are bending, this hand is bent forward. When you bend it, what happens? This muscles contract and this muscle stretches out. At the back it stretches out. Now when you do it in the opposite side, what happens? When you move it in the opposite side, means when you open it, this muscles will contract and this muscles will stretch out. Okay. So opposite direction they both will work. One will pull, one will push. Is that clear? This is how we are able to move it. Now let us see another one that just now we discussed. When we straighten our arm, see, this is your lower arm. When you are straightening, what happens? This, see, here is the tendon, here is the tendon, here is the tendon, here is the tendon. These tendons help us to join the bones to the muscles. Now here what happens to the triceps? It contracts and this will become, it expands or it stretches. The biceps will stretch. So while you can try to do this activity, fold your arm and stretch your arm. Okay. Or straighten your arm and keep your hand on the biceps for some time and then you keep on the triceps. You will come to know the difference. Okay. Today we can do this activity. What you can do is, first keep your hands, one hand on the other hand on the biceps, and you see when you fold it forward what happens to the biceps, and then see at the back what happens to the triceps. After that you open it. Keeping the hand, you should open your arm and see what happened to the triceps and what happens to the biceps. Okay. So once when you are bending the hands, what happens? Triceps will stretch out and biceps will contract. And when you straighten your arm, what happens? The triceps will contract and biceps will stretch out. Now let us see some other animals, some other creatures or some other animals, how do they move. You see here, when this is a cat, when it jumps, what happens? While jumping, what they do? Both the hind legs are pushed backward. Both the hind legs, here you can see the hind legs, they are pushed backward. And then what happened? When they push them backward, they apply lots of force. Here these two legs are pushed backward. Can you see these two? And with great force they apply lots of force. And then this, because of this force, what happened, it generate the other part, that is the front portion will be lifted up and then it moves forward. It is lifted and then pushed forward. Okay, when you see, you have learned that whenever you do, we say, no, whatever you do, there is an opposite reaction. So when this is pushed back, this will be pushed forward, and this is pushed back and downward, so this portion will move front and backward. This is how small animals like dogs and cats, they jump from one place to another. Now see this, what is this? This is an earthworm. Have you seen an earthworm, moving earthworm? On the ground you can see. Now it is a little hard soil, so it won't be able to see. After the rain, little bit, when the soil is little loose, that time you can see the earthworms. Okay, and when the soil is loose, they come out. How do they move, you know? They move with the help of some hair-like particles, hair-like projections are there on their body. They are called bristles. What are they called? Bristles. And they also have some muscles. Okay, the muscles and the hair-like part called bristles will help them to move their body. Okay, and these bristles are on the lower part of the body. Lower part means below the body. Where you see on this top portion, it won't be there. Bottom portion, you can see some hair-like parts. Okay, how they help, you know, this bristle will help this earthworm to hold on the ground, to get the grip, and also to move. Now usually the earthworm, what they do, they stick to the soil with the help of these bristles, and first they stick to the soil and then they push itself forward. After sticking themselves, we push the front portion of the body forward with the help of muscles. They stretch the muscles and they move this part. Then it can also move backward. How they do move backward? They contract their muscles. After contracting the muscle, first they fix the body, then contract the muscle, then they can move backward. But at the same time, they can move little space only, because they move forward, then they move backward, move forward, backward, like that. So when they are moving at the same time, means they take lots of time to move from one place to another, because they move forward, push, then pull. Okay, that means they contract their body, expand their body, again expand the body, contract the body. So little bit they move forward, little they come backward. So at a time they cannot move a long distance. Now look at this. What is it? This is a snail. Do you know how do they move? How do they move? Actually, they have a shell-like outer skeleton, and it is full of calcium. Okay, and they drag the shell along with them when they are moving. Now, with the help of their foot, they stuck to the ground. Okay, the muscles in the foot contract and expand, and this will help them to move forward. They have a gland which produces a sticky mucus, that is called sticky liquid in their body, and this mucus will help them to harden when it comes in contact with air. Okay, means when they move from one place to another, they will secrete or they will produce this sticky substance, and when they go out, when that sticky substance is in contact with air, it is kept open with air, so what will happen? It will become hard. Okay, that is why whenever this in the garden and all, when this snails will move from there, you can see a small silver like line there. Okay, actually what does the this substance do, you know? It helps them to cover the path on which the snail is moving, so that it can get protected, or the snail get protected because of this mucus. Okay, Even if it is very sharp edge, it won't mind. Very sharp places where other means if you walk you may get hurt, but the snails will not get hurt because of this mucus. Okay, so how do they move? They fix their feet first and then they expand and contract the muscles on the feet and then they move. Now, have you observed snakes, movement of snakes? Snakes move by sliding their bodies. And if you observe the different types of snakes they move in different way. Okay, and while moving, if they are moving in a soil, in soft soil, you can see that designs will be formed. Okay, and by observing that mark you will come to know which snake it is. That is because the under surface, the body's bottom part of the snake is covered with scales. Okay, and these scales will help them to press their body to the ground and move forward. Snakes don't have feet, so they are helped by this scales on their body. Okay, we learned about earthworm. They have bristles which help them to fix them on the ground. Snails, they have feet, and here snakes, they have scales to fix them to the ground and then they push and pull. So their body moves. See, sliding they move. You see here S formation is there. They form S. Okay, and this curve, it pushes against the ground and pass that to backward. First here S, then that S will, this body will move back forward, so then here one S will be formed. Like that, in zigzag, this way they move, S formation they move.